2014 Cadillac ATS with 2.5. The other ATSs with 2.5, they're all the same. If you're looking for a oil pressure switch for this engine, it is located underneath the intake manifold. So you have to take the intake manifold out in order to put that in. So in order to get to the bottom bolt on the intake manifold plenum on the ATS, you need to take the alternator out for easy access. Once you take the alternator out, the bolt is located right underneath. There is a bolt behind the wires. That one right there. You can use the 10mm air ratchet and take it right out. So that's how you get to the bottom bolt on the intake manifold plenum. Now once you take the intake manifold out, we're going to show you where the oil pressure switch is located. This car has one oil pressure switch, and the other one is called the oil level sensor. That is in the oil pan. That's easy to get to, but they're not the switch. So we are going to show you how to do that. So don't forget to disconnect the battery before you remove the alternator and the intake. The battery on this car is in the trunk on the left hand side. Disconnect the negative side. And then remove the alternator and the intake to replace the switch. And there you have it. It's out. So once the bottom bolt is out, there's top 5 bolts. They're easy to get to. One in the back, right here, with the extension. And now you can just go ahead and remove it. There is one vacuum line in the back of the intake plenum that you need to get to. From there. So to get to the rear intake plenum vacuum hose, you can take the windshield wiper motor system and the cowl area right there. You can take it out and take the cross member out on this side, and then if you look back here, now it's easy to get to, is right there. That hose is connected to the intake. You press that tab and it pops right out. That's how you get to the rear hose. So once you There is that hose right there. Just press it, take it out. Now the intake is ready to pop off. There we have it. So if you look in the back, okay, so here's the intake. Here's the top 5 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the bottom bolt right here. So the bottom bolt, you can see it. You have to take the alternator out and you can get to it. And there is 5 bolts on top. There's the one in the back, the hidden bolt. So when you change this intake, make sure you change the intake gasket, because they tend to leak and it can give you a misfire code, lean condition. So make sure you get it from the dealer. Put these new gaskets. Here is the seal kit for the plenum from the dealer. As you can see, is a new one. So there you have it. Just reverse order to put everything back together. And the oil pressure sending switch. So you can see here is the rail pressure sensor on the fuel rail. And if you look right behind the starter, there is a starter. And right behind the starter there is a oil pressure switch. It gives you the oil pressure. So once you have it out, it's easy. You just take the connector off, put a new one. Make sure you use the OEM genuine Cadillac parts to work correctly. So here's the oil pressure switch from Cadillac. It is a 3-prong switch. So to remove it, if the unlocking connector is on the bottom, you can use a 15/16 and release and turn. Once you spin it, now you can see it is accessible right here. Pull it back, press and release. So easy access. So the electrical connections are when it's cold and they're old, they're hard to take off. Just gotta put a little bit of WD-40 on it, on the connection. You won't be able to squeeze it by hand, So you just gotta use a little needleless plier, squeeze it, and voila, pops right out without breaking. You can see the oil coming out. We've got the new one. Now I just reverse the order to put everything back together. Yeah, we'll be posting more hard to find videos, so keep checking.